Hey everybody, happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Happy Monday. Welcome in, like and subscribe. We do appreciate you and happiest of holidays.
Yes, like she said, like and subscribe. Share the video. Hi, Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being with us today. But you guys, make sure you subscribe to Mrs. Best channel as well. Any recaps or reviews that I don't cover on my channel, we cover on her channel, such as Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and also Love and Hip Hop Miami, which will be on her channel tomorrow to cover. So make sure you guys are not late and make sure you do not miss it. So, y'all, this is Real Housewives of Potomac. This was probably the most boring episode they have had the entire season. I was not entertained by anything. I was not moved by anything, and I was not surprised by anything. Just to put that out there, I wasn't moved by anything. So unless y'all want to ask me questions in the chat, I'm just gonna cover the episode moment by moment, and we're gonna talk about it and move on to the next recap, which will be Married to Medicine. Shout out to the so far 9 people that I have looking at me live. Make sure you are subscribed and like the video as well while you're here. I appreciate you. And if you want to comment, go ahead and drop it. But the show opens up with Mia, and I'm gonna gloss over this because we know Mia lies. She basically said in this scene that her kids, do know about her and Gordon divorcing after she just said 2 episodes ago that the kids did not know, that she was kind of shielding them from this. So, Mia, which one is it? We know you lied, but which one is it? Do the kids know or do they not know? Do they know you are together or do they not know you guys are together? Like, I know she said last episode, I know y'all about, but James, she said last episode, that her and Daddy are going to her and Gordon are going to get divorced. I don't care. It's like
Mia
divorce
needs to stop
is
using her kids for a moment on this show. I
right.
don't like that. I feel like most of the housewives, no matter how we feel about them, the worst of the worst, in all of the franchises, for the most part, I can say that it seems like most of them are mothers first. And when their kids have a moment or go through something or something happens that could impact their kids, they're usually pretty cognizant of that and try to do their best with navigating it. Mia, I'm not saying she's a bad mother, but I think that she's definitely crossing a boundary by utilizing the kids and all of this mess. It seems like she's more so concerned about the audience reacting and her staying relevant so that she could keep getting the check versus her kids' actual mental health. And I feel like Gordon wants to say something but doesn't. But I'm tired of Mia talking about the situation. Bitch, go ahead and get divorced. Open your legs some more to ink and then cheat on him with the next one. Is Zeus, Mona, Love and Hip Hop. Mia is available.
She really is. She really is. Mia reminds me of the mom in Medea's Family Reunion, Lynn Whitfield's character. That's what Mia reminds me of every time I look at her. She reminds me of that lady. So I hope none of those situations happen with those kids. I'm not saying she would ever do that, but she reminds me of that character. I don't know why. Every time I look at her, that's what she reminds me of. So that was it with Mia. The next thing we get is another nothing scene with Stacey meeting up with Karen and Giselle. And pretty much this whole conversation consisted of Stacy, talking to them about Karen's Lagoon party and that she's going to bring TJ. And they were telling her, because TJ's apparently in LA filming this episode of Grey's Anatomy or whatever he's doing out there. And they're pretty much telling her that she needs to go find, some other entertainment because you don't know what he's doing in LA when he's out there working. So you need to be dating around. And I actually do agree with that. I think that she is handling this divorce from her husband and then just jumping back into another potential relationship. So I feel like she does need to date. I do agree with that. Now, whether if it's the whole sex thing, I don't know. That's none of my business. But I do feel like when you get, in a place of divorce, you do need to kind of date around because your tastes have changed potentially to when you first got married. You're not going to be the same person. So I do think she needs to figure out what she wants. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add to this?
About Stacy?
Yeah, and with Giselle and Karen, the advice they gave her and the whole
Listen,
TJ.
they give great advice. Stacy, go date. And when you do date, date straight men. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Well, goddamn, I didn't want to go that far.
I'm
But
behaving on this live. What you mean, goddamn? I'm doing well. I'm just saying, when you
mm,
do date, if you are a heterosexual woman, go for a straight man.
yeah,
That's
I
not
do agree.
in hiding.
I do agree with that. I do. I do agree with that. She does need to find a different kind of man. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is Wendy inviting the ladies to this boutique or clothing store, and the reason why Wendy is there is because she wants them to get outfits for, um, of all people, Giselle. Without a man, make it make sense. Well, I mean, Giselle has been divorced. Stacey is getting divorced, so I think, not to take up for Giselle, but I think that that's a good person to be getting advice from. Someone who's already been through it and couldn't let go of the last name or the benefits that comes with. So who else better to do it than Giselle and Karen? So we'll see what happens with that. But the next thing is that Wendy's inviting them to this boutique, and she's telling them that she wants to invite them to Panama in Central America. And the ladies are excited, except for Kay. When Kay mentions it, she goes, "I'd rather European countries with caviar." And I'm looking at Kay like it's a free
This is
trip,
coming from the heifer that's stupid enough to be promoting her man's business instead of her own.
right? Because I'm trying to figure out, girl, it's a free trip. What the hell? You on a TV show?
That was just
What
an
that mean?
ignorant statement. I don't know if
Yeah.
she was trying to be relevant for the camera, because they try to give their little one liners in the confessional. But Panama's beautiful. It's one
Absolutely.
of the
It
number one countries that rich expats end up going to. There's a lot that you can do there. Uh, the same way Panama may have their little areas that have slums, the same way the European countries have that. I don't get it.
I
Girl,
don't either.
go
I
where
thought that
you
was
don't have to
crazy.
pay.
Right. I was like, it's a free trip. What do you? I mean, it's out of the country. It's a place that's beautiful. I could see if they were taking you somewhere where it's maybe not as developed and you may not be able to have luxury on the trip. You can have a luxury trip in Panama. You can. I've seen it. So, Kay, she annoyed me this episode as well. I like her. I do. She's one of my favorites on this franchise, but she kind of annoyed me. But moving on from there, Jacqueline shows up, and they say that they haven't really seen much of Jacqueline since I think Mia's trip or whatever. I think that's what they were saying, and she said, "Yeah, I haven't been invited to anybody's event." And so Mia actually tells Ashley and I think it was Stacy. I want to say that was Stacy. I could be wrong. I don't really care about how Karen invited her to the Blue Lagoon, and she wants to bring Jacqueline as her plus one because neither Gordon or Ink can make it. So Ashley's like, "Oh, I'm down for that, absolutely," with her messy ass. She goes, "Oh yeah, you should totally ask her." So Mia did do the respectable thing and say, "Hey, Karen, I know you said that you would like Gordon to attend the event, but he can't make it, and neither can Ink. I was wondering if I can bring him before she can even say the girl's name." Karen said, "No, that's a no. That's a hell no. She ain't coming up in my house. Don't do that no more. She ain't coming." So Mia goes back to Ashley, goes, "I tried." She said no. And Karen could hear. She said, "I said no. She ain't coming." And I was hollering this entire time because I was like, "Yeah, Karen, put that foot down." Because first of all, Jacqueline is extra. She's fodder. She does not. She doesn't fit in. So why do we need to see her? Like Mia trying to. Mia, this is like Teddy. Mia, stop trying to make Teddy happen. That's how I feel. Mrs. Best, anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, what they expect to happen? In season one, Karen will put you out of something, will disinvite you to something, will not invite you to something. Separately from that, Jacqueline is useless in this group because where she messed up from the very beginning is she was so far up Mia's ass that she was only speaking for Mia. It seemed like she's just a damn robot to Mia. The women watch her get mistreated and everything. Jacqueline act like a damn pet. Hell, my cat is more autonomous than Jacqueline. So I personally feel like Mia needs to let it go, and so should Jacqueline. We don't care. Not about the pregnancy, not about any of what she has to say. We don't care.
You feel like she didn't initially understand it when Wendy presented it. I thought she did. I really
She
did.
says South American.
She did, and then also she said in the moment that she would rather it be a European country versus, I think she understood. I think, which we'll get to in the moment, because I have some feelings about that scene. But no, I feel like she knew in the moment. I think she just, I don't know. It's giving new money. It really is. It's giving new money. It's giving, you've been exposed to new things and you want to just continue to endure that lifestyle, which there's nothing wrong with. I can't wait till I get mine. But at the end of the day, it was like, it's a free trip. I would kill have a free trip.
We all learned in school, I believe, if we were students of America, about the Panama Canal when looking at that map at some point.
Absolutely.
So she should absolutely. It don't take a college degree to understand where Panama is. Hell, they use American currency. Well, I mean, I'm just there's certain things that I feel like Kiana does know, but I think she just did it and said it to like be funny, but it just didn't come off that way. If that makes sense.
No, it didn't. And you're absolutely right. It was kind of like, miss me with that. But speaking of Karen and her boyfriend, the next scene we talk about is Karen bringing that, Wendy has invited her and the girls to the trip, and she's really excited. However, she would have preferred to go somewhere else, and because she just said Panama, she didn't say, the country, and her boyfriend was confused. He said, "Is it Panama the state?" Because I think that's what you probably are thinking. And she had to think about that for a minute. She go, "No, it's the country. It's the country." So that's what Kevin Reynolds was saying. She didn't, when she presented to him, for whatever reason, it didn't land. And he's talking about, oh yeah, the ladies of the trip, and it's about to be drama for the TV and everything. Because according to Kierna, Greg didn't want to be on the show. That's he's still kind of like changing on the show. I said that's mighty funny that he don't want to be on camera, yet when we see him, we at his business.
Oh, that was probably part of the deal to get him to be on camera.
Yeah,
But
but
what I don't like about that on her part, I know people may not look at it this way. If she wanted to do this show, she could do this show. There's plenty of housewives that have not shown their spouses or have spouses that were too busy to film with them. So it's not, that's kind of how housewives started, especially with housewives of New York back in the day. But people would understand that. What I don't like is I think being on camera is something that's super, super sensitive to everybody. That is why consent is a part of laws and things of that nature when it comes to photography, videography, things of that nature. So if someone that I care about says they do not want to be on camera, I'm not going to try and talk them into being on camera. People could know she had a boyfriend and give him a little cameo, but she got this man like filming, and he doesn't come off well. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because he don't want to be on camera, and he probably feels like his interactions with you are not natural, and is making him come off like an asshole and her come off like a dingbat. But I don't like that. If somebody tell you they don't want to be on camera, respect it.
yeah,
Respect it.
because what it translates to is all of these red flags that we're all seeing as viewers, and people who liked you your first, friend of the show season, to now you being a housewife. And we're seeing this dynamic and it doesn't fit. Because one, I feel like, I'm gonna say this wrong and forgive me, but y'all know what I mean. I feel like you're out of his league for sure. I feel like you were oh, I'm sorry, Kevin Reynolds distracted me because I thought you was talking about something else. I saw something else on Watch What Happens Live that he did that made me go, I would question a lot more than just his not wanting to be on TV. That's all I'm gonna say. Because there was a particular point on Watch What Happens Live where Claudia Jordan was sitting next to him, and there was a girl behind Claudia Jordan, and his head was tilted so far and was looking all. I said, "Oh, okay, so you're gonna do that on national TV, but you don't want to
It,
be on."
it seems like he
Okay.
kind of viewed Kierna as like a hood rat or something, just the way he act. He almost acts embarrassed of her at certain times. I don't like him. I
I don't even.
don't. I don't like him. Something about him is just off. But I don't
No,
know. Kierna.
he reminds me of Greg Lunsford from Married to Medicine. That's who he reminds me of. It's just
Oh,
ironic.
that's
His name
not
is Greg as
good.
well. He reminds me of that man. Like, and the way that man treated Quad in the beginning, like as far as, or not the beginning, but like, season 3, season 4, and all of that shit. That's what this reminds me of. It does. So I'm hoping that the outcome is that he turns the audience all the way around because it ain't looking too good for him. It just isn't. It just looks terrible. He do give caveman antics, like him talking about the cooking shit and all that. I'm just like, sir, if you
I
don't,
just want to know why, if you see a woman promoting the hell out of what you do in your nonprofit, why you can't ask her at the very least, how is the med spa? What's going on with your med spa? Like, why do we always have to see her in this damn shirt? I'm all for nonprofits. Hell, I'm employed by one, but it's like we want to see you, Kierna. You're the housewife.
right? We don't want to see you doing all of this extra stuff that you're not even. I don't even know if you're benefiting from it. You don't show us. So I don't know. I just see red flags all around with this man. But anywho, the next thing we'll talk about is Stacey meets with her aunt, who she mentions is not much older than she is. So they kind of relate as sisters. So pretty much Aunt Nikki. So the aunt asks her, how are things going with you and your husband? And she goes, well, I'm about to divorce him. We're pretty close, and everything's happened. And she asks her when's the last time, she had gotten some. She said it's been about a year. And I said, oh no, honey, I don't know if I could last me the whole year. But then when the conversation switched to, so are you dating anyone? Do you have anyone? And she goes, well, I'm talking to TJ. And she goes, oh, is that fine man from QVC that you had in the video? And she said, yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, see, you sneaky because I saw him. Oh, he's so handsome and everything. And this is when Stacey mentions, well, he, is practicing celibacy until marriage and everything like that. And the aunt goes, oh, that's a good thing. That's how it should be. Hi, Shayna. Oh my goodness, I've not seen you. I gotta send you a DM. I have not talked to you in a long time. I'm glad you stopped by, love. Stacy gets freaking sheet vibes, yet acts applaud in your face and keep it. I got my eye on Stacy. Stacy a freak undercover. I just feel it. But this aunt was like, but what this aunt said, that's the way it should be. I said, lady, which one is? Is it she should get her some, or she should, or this is the right way? Because you just flip flopped your answer, and I don't know which way to go with you. But Stacy takes the aunt's advice as like, oh my God, you're actually the first person to tell me that it's not wrong and that it's not anything weird about it. Because the other ladies in my friendship circles are telling me I need to date, I need to have sex, I need to do other things outside of TJ. So this was really refreshing. I'm looking at Stacy like, okay, Stacy, whatever you want, baby, whatever you want. I guess I have no choice but to support because I still like Stacey. I do. I still like her. She has not done anything yet that I felt is redeemable. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add to that? She do, and that's the one thing I do love about her.
Stacy's cool. I just want her to be herself unapologetically. It seems like sometimes she is more inept to want to like fit in with certain girls in the group, but at the same time, I've enjoyed her so far, and I couldn't stand her at first. But if this who she is, this who she is. I'm pretty sure she's a freak. We all know that. That's obvious. But I don't expect for anyone in her family or who she's very close with to have common sense when it comes to men and dating because birds of a feather flock together. I'm not saying it to insult them or anything like that. It just seems like we all learn and get our discernment from somewhere. And it's definitely not something that she got from her aunt or her family. And that's fine. That's fine as long as she's willing to learn. But it seemed like she just heard what she wanted to hear from her auntie and was like, well, thank you.
Yeah, that
That's
gave her all the
refreshing.
confidence in the world to continue to pursue whatever this relationship is with her and
She
TJ.
needs to date. If you want to have sex, Stacy, girl, go spread it low, drop it wide, sit on it and spin if you got to. Go
I
have
mean,
sex.
like, go have it. I mean, you a
Nothing
grown
is wrong
woman
with
and
it. We
you
shouldn't be out
married,
here
like
shaming each other. She's single. She's about to get divorced. She's been with this clear man for a long time now. Go sit and spin, Stacy. It's
right.
okay. I want her to do that because TJ to me is just like not it.
Absolutely not. That is not what I picture her with. So we move on from there. Giselle goes on a date with we don't call him Nams because I don't remember his name, but I remember that's how somebody was saying it. I think Giselle was the one saying it. So she picks him up, or they meet at a salsa inspired restaurant bar. They actually do some dancing there as well. And, she pretty much gives them the rundown of questions. Have you ever been married? Have you ever been in jail? Do you have any kids? What's everything. And I said, just like, you just throw a few more questions up in there because some about him and this vibe was really off for me. But he pretty much has not been married, never been in jail, educated, all, the good qualities of a man. Um, they end up, talking about dancing, and he said he used to live in Miami, which, ooh, we question anybody, but because I live there, y'all. I see this all the time, but I'll let this play out the way it plays out. If I know better, which I know I do, Giselle ain't gonna get this man no chance. I know she's not. This ain't even her realm. She like a old, nasty, disrespectful ass man. This man ain't that. So they sauced the dance. It was stiff as hell, and I was like, okay, that's expected of Giselle. And that was pretty much their date. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add to that?
Production must have said to Giselle, listen, we fired your green eye bandit, and you ain't done nothing but piss off the audience and play with our money. They said, look here, you green eye bitch, you better get yourself on a goddamn date and you better pick one. You better like him, give us something. Because all these dates feel forced.
It did. That's why I don't want to talk about it because it was like you could have asked that when you were doing the damn speed dating thing because you had a second run at him. Hi, Naya. Thank you for joining us tonight, love. We appreciate you. You could have just did. This is such bullshit. And I feel like Business Best has a point. They're doing that because probably production was like, look, you got to do something because we
Her
tired.
redemption is random. She's been reasonable. I've actually enjoyed Giselle this season. And I haven't said that really. I used to love Giselle like seasons 1 and 2. Haven't been able to stand her since. Now I'm like, okay, I don't mind this Giselle doing your own thing, going on the goofy dates, showing us how stiff you are. I don't mind that part. But it just feels forced. Like I definitely feel like because of Miss Robin being gone, it's probably a good thing. It probably made her feel threatened to a certain extent. And now suddenly all of the things that the audience that was watching had to complain about with Giselle, she's suddenly just magically overnight not doing it. Listen, I am in psychology. People don't change that fast, even when they want to.
I agree. So because and it's so interesting when Robin goes away, what we actually say about Giselle now that she's by herself and being the Lone Star Ranger that she is. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something with a little sidekick go away and never to be discussed on the show ever again? It's amazing what that can do for somebody.
People
Wow.
ain't even mentioned Robin. Nobody on the cast. I said, oh, damn.
Right. Nobody ain't mentioned her name. Nobody ain't said nothing. Her and Giselle got scandals up the yin yang in a lawsuit. Ain't nobody mentioned Robin's name. I don't recognize her. She looks amazing, is behaving herself, and people are saying it was all Robin's fault. I'm not gonna say it wasn't all Robin's fault, but I think what Robin did was Robin was allowed to co-sign the bullshit and the antics that Giselle did a lot of the time, and that's what made like the shit really like the thing with Candace versus Monique and how that shit played out. A lot of people didn't see that there was a push to Monique, which I felt did trigger her to attack Candace. That's what I felt. But I didn't have my channel then, so I couldn't have said that then. So but I do. I feel like Robin being gone, production probably sat Giselle down. Was like, look, you got to give. Now that Robin's gone, you can't rely on you or her to be the mean girls and the bullies. You have to work for your check this time. So I actually just think Robin is smart as what gets. She ain't on
That's
the
the
show no
truth.
more. My best that she ain't on the show no more. I don't feel like giving Robin no shine. I really don't. But but moving on from there. So they have Karen's Lagoon, Blue Lagoon, whatever that shit was called. She got mermaids in the pool. It was very nice setup. I will give that. Stacy and TJ show up first. Stacy looked amazing. She looks good in the color white. She
Did
really.
y'all see how when TJ got in the party, the first thing he did was walk away from Stacy?
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I saw
Mm.
that. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I definitely saw that.
Oh, crybaby ass bitch. That don't make no sense. You did
Yes,
all that crying, and the first thing you do is walk away from her, TJ. I don't
right.
want to see this man anymore.
Me either. I don't like. I can't. Like, I literally can't stand this man. Ashley and Giselle ride up together with their dates. Josh was Ashley's date, and Nam, whatever that man's name is, was Giselle. Giselle's giving him the rundown of Karen, her house, everything. She's like, "Look, I don't want you to be. Look, Karen gonna try you. Karen gonna do this. Karen gonna do that. Karen." And it was like, Giselle, Dale. I mean, you not gonna be with this man. We already know this. What did you give? It's not like he can run away. Josh is the driver. Josh is, y'all riding with him. So it's not like he can go anywhere. And he was
Giselle
like,
gives Kenya more on RHOA. Don't take no man you see on the show that she dates seriously until she leave the show because she's found an actual man. I don't take nobody, Giselle. Nope.
I don't either. I'm not, yeah, I'm not taking it serious anyway. I'm like, I'm really not. So all the couples get there and then they begin playing, the games. Karen got an old messy ass game. And also, y'all, we had a surprise guest who, I don't know who told me a few weeks ago that these two weren't going to be on the show anymore. But we see Jazzy and Darius. I said, oh, blast from the not past. I was not ready to see them two, but I'm glad that I did because I'm just like because I had forgot all about them. I really did. I forgot all about Jazzy and Darius. But Karen asked the old messy ass question of, "Do you think your partner's ever cheated?" And of course, everybody's going to say no. Everyone's going to say no, with the exception of Jazzy. Jazzy said, "Yeah, I can't prove it, but yeah, I think he has." And I was like, "See, this is what get Jazzy in trouble. This is what gets Jazzy in trouble, and then she get mad at us vloggers and people who recap the show when we call out the obvious and shit. So I'm gonna keep my ass silent. But Jazzy, this is how you get in trouble when you do shit like this. Considering what was dug up about this man and the mother of his children. I'm just saying, don't do that no more. Okay? So yeah, we all kind of forgot about them. Like it was definitely they were here. They had, the scandals outside of the show that we knew weren't going to make it on the show. But we know that in today's time they are engaged and, they're still together. So hey. But the next question was funny as hell because they put TJ in the hot seat and I wasn't mad at it at all. Is are you more dominant or submissive in the bed? And so when they got to TJ with that, that's when he reveals, well, I'm not no virgin or anything like that. And everyone's like, all pause. And I'm like, are we surprised that he said he's not a virgin? To be honest, I think have an agreement. Karen stepped out and do her thing. I'm not gonna bring. You know why I'm not gonna bring it up? Because I believe that, and I don't feel like that's being a dead horse. We know. I don't bit more believe Karen is faithful, and I'm gonna say allegedly because y'all know Karen like throw a lawsuit. She do. I'm gonna say allegedly, but
That man can barely walk from the car to the front door of events. We love Ray, but at this point, Ray is looking like Karen's grandpappy. So if she is busting it low and spreading it wide, I understand, Karen. Do what
look,
you got to do.
look, the plumbing does not look like it works in Ray. So I feel like that is.
Oh, the plumbing has been removed for some time.
So I don't bit more believe that Karen is faithful than anything. I absolutely believe all the stories. I do. Um, we ain't surprised. We don't care. TJ ain't doing Stacy, so why Because Stacy want to throw him in our face with this bullshit, and then want to act surprised, but subtly throwing him under the bus with the other women, and that's what was going on here. Is that she was constantly throwing him under the bus and shit, seeing how he was sweat and respond, and he was wrong with the punches. Especially when Giselle said, "Oh, well, we want Stacy to go out there and date and everything." And he goes, "You guys are being her real friends. I appreciate that." His answers were definitely rehearsed. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he knew what to say. Like
Stacey
most
didn't want
actors
to
do.
come on this show without a man. That's what it started to
Yep,
give. She just
exactly.
wanted to have a man on her arm. She seems like the type of woman that always has to have somebody. This is all the more reason why she needs to just date. Because nothing that man said
I
felt
don't understand
natural.
what's wrong with that. Like, I don't understand what would be wrong with her saying that, I'm just now I'm about to get a divorce, saying, I just want to have my hot girl summer. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, I don't understand. Stacey is just weird. She's just strange. And I feel like she operates in the mind of somebody who lived in the 80s. I do. For some reason, she's not in today's time. She's just not. So she's just weird. Um, I don't care about because I know a lot of people are like, would you? I know someone was talking about Mia on Instagram, how she answered the questions, and I'm like, Mia answered the questions exactly how I thought she would. She admitted
She
to
didn't need to be answering the questions. There was no man there. Sit this one out, sis. Read the cards and ask the questions. Don't answer them. Neither of your Negroes showed up. You on this show preaching and bragging like it's a good thing to have multiple niggas. Okay, girl. Okay, sis. But none of them showed up.
hmm
None of them.
right.
And we know at least one of them is unemployed. So I,
What was he doing? Oh, he had what business best. He had to watch the kids. That's why he couldn't show up because somebody had to babysit them kids. So why not have their father?
he's conveniently not in mania when she needs a babysitter. Look
I
at
feel like
that.
that's what it is because we know Jacqueline ain't watching the kids because we know at some point she shows up here, which we'll get to in a second. Me should have been in the swimming pool with the silent mermaids. I'm just saying. Mia didn't want to skip out on this check, so that's why she's here. She didn't want to be here, especially without Jacqueline. You could tell.
It's like
You
we
could tell
don't
that's
care
what
about your answers, Mia. Mia's really trying to milk her situation. Bitch, go get a divorce and then stay with Ink and we'll see. We'll
right.
see.
We'll see. So, speaking of which, everyone sees this little puppy sitting out there and everything. And no, I'm not going to talk about Ashley going both ways because I already knew that. I know we're skipping around a lot, but this was so uninteresting to me, y'all. It really was. But Jacqueline shows up and Karen said, "Oh, no, 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 she's not. She's not coming to my house." And that's all. And then the episode says, "To be continued." Y'all, this episode was so stupid. I can't. There was nothing to really talk about. Nobody's answer surprised me of this game. I feel like the bullshit that's gonna happen is gonna happen next episode, which I will fully recap if it's worthy. But this
One
episode
part
was long.
reunion.
Please have one. Yes. How
Nothing
you gonna pack a
happened to
million none
have a
shot?
four part.
I feel like they're gonna do. I feel like they're gonna at least have a 3-part, and I'm gonna be pissed. How you got to pack a men and none showed up? Me would be lying. I don't know. I'm gonna say allegedly on this, allegedly, but I feel like Mia got more than just Ink and Gordon.
Of course.
I do. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. I feel like Mia has more than just Ink and Gordon.
Of course. Ink and Gordon don't realize either. They both look stupid to me.
Karen was too Karen today.
Yeah, she
I don't blame
was.
Karen for that because if I told you not to bring this, and I know Mia did this shit. This has Mia's name written all over it. If I told you not to bring this heifer over to my house, that's exactly what I mean. So when I see her, yes, she got to go. She can either walk out or she can have the police escort her off my property. But she gonna get up out of here.
That's a boundary that you don't
Right.
cross. You don't play with people's homes. You
And
just
definitely trying to
don't.
be funny with some balloons and like Jacqueline's so corny. Like, but that was the episode, y'all. That was it. It really wasn't nothing. It was very boring. I had a hard time watching it. I had to watch it 3 times because there was nothing. And if I missed something, it's because it wasn't memorable. They're not talking about anything. I need spice. I need them to pull back and go back to the drawing board. I need them to come back the way Real Housewives of Salt Lake City came back because they came back with a bang. And not one episode has been boring. And we're on episode 14. Now, one episode has been boring. So I don't know what we still doing here, but I need them to get it together because this shit is so boring and so stupid. Like the drama, the scandals, it's just stupid.
Having to talk about Wendy's 40th birthday for like 4 episodes in a
4
row.
episodes. Yeah,
I'm
Wendy, if you don't
sorry.
know stuff, I
They
get it.
need to fire Wendy. She gives nothing. Nothing this season has Wendy been able to give. Wendy can go. Jacqueline can go. Mia can go. Ashley can go. Just recast it. Giselle can go.
Yeah,
It's
do something.
time.
Yeah, it's time because these ladies, nothing is given. And I get it's very this episode was very much filler, but I feel like the trip ain't gonna give nothing. So I feel like the trip is not going to give anything either. And if I feel like that, hell, they're lucky I didn't drop this show. I'm trying to hold on to dear life for it, but it ain't worth it for me, y'all. It really ain't. But that was it. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna recap Married to Medicine. So make sure you guys go ahead and I like Wendy too, but the fact that we have
I like her. She just don't give nothing on the show.
I feel like I feel like the glue to Wendy was Candace.
It was.
And I feel like now that Candace is not on the show right now, Wendy doesn't have anything.
And her
Because
mama is not interesting enough, or Eddie and the family drama. Like, I hope that they work it out. I wish Wendy well. She really is the example of black brilliance.
yes.
However, comma, her on this reality show with the rest of these castmates, no thank you. I'd rather see
Well, no,
Wendy
it's just
with.
she's sticking out like a sore thumb, and I don't like that. I don't. I love Wendy, but I just don't want her on this show talking about her being 40 the last 4 episodes. Like I'm over that already. Okay, we get it. It's a new decade of life. You're going into new business ventures, and we champion all of that. But at the same time, it's not translating to an entertainment reality TV show that you're a housewife on. It just is not translating. Wendy has the most opulence of all the women. She does. I don't disagree with that. But at
She
the same
does.
time,
She doesn't blend with this group.
yes, it would be. Now this is where y'all gonna get me. Wendy actually would do better on Married to Medicine than Phaedra.
I agree with that. I can
Yes.
agree with that. But I also think Wendy has a whole separate group of friends. She does a lot. Like, she does a lot. And I don't think that this show will ever take the time to properly show what she does in a way that makes sense.
I know. Because when I recap Married to Medicine, that comes up as a topic with Phaedra, and I'm like, and I'm explaining that when we get there. But I do feel like Wendy would be so great on Married to Medicine because she would fit the opulence of that show with it being medical professionals and her being an educated doctor in philosophy. I feel like she would be stellar on that and then bring the drama there. I feel like these women can't compete with her. They just cannot. And then, as I said, the glue that I felt made Wendy such a prominent character on the show was Candace because Candace was educated and Candace would read you better than Mary Cosby as a scripture. Like she really would. So it's kind of like, damn, Wendy, I hate that you is going out like this because you got to make friends with women that didn't get along with you when you first got here. It's crazy.
Yeah. She'll figure it out, though. If Phaedra can go to Married to Medicine, then Wendy can definitely get to another space as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree
Yeah,
with you.
Wendy is definitely above RHOP, and I know people don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. Um, there's a difference between having your own, being self-made, and then having the husband as the bonus and those things versus having what you have because of your partner, which is
Yeah.
most of this cast, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that was it, y'all. Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm not gonna spend too much here because, as I said, it was nothing. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's why I said Married to Medicine might be a better fit. But we're gonna move on to Married to Medicine. So I hope you guys come over to that live so we can get into it because it was actually a decent episode. It wasn't as bad as this one. So we'll go ahead and spend our time there. So thank you guys for being here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Mrs. Best channel information. Her information is in my description box. And I'll see you guys to Married to Medicine. See ya.